कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृतशशिकलाभ्यां निजतपः फलाभ्यां भक्तेषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां भवतु मे शिवाभ्यामस्तोकत्रिभुवन शिवाभ्यां हृदि पुनः भवाभ्याम् आनन्दस्फुर अधुना भवाभ्यां नतिरियम्.
Respected scholars, revered Vidwans, distinguished guests, and Rasikas of Carnatic music, Suprabhatam, and a very warm and auspicious morning to all of you. I, Bhuvan Krishna,
and Pratiksha Pandey
humbly welcome you all to today's memorial conference in commemoration of Sri Muttusvāmi Dikshit's 250th anniversary.
Today, we gather not merely for a conference, but for a sadhana of remembrance, to invoke, celebrate, and immerse ourselves in the timeless legacy of Sri Muttuswami Dikshit, one of the trinity of Karnataka music, whose compositions are not just music, but mantra, shastra, and darshan woven into melody.
Now we request our venerable dignitaries and guests, Chief Guest Sangeet Kalanidhi Dr. Lalgudi GJR Krishnan, Guest of Honor Shri S. Gurumurti Ji, and Dr. S. Soumya, National IKS Coordinator Ganti Surya Narayan Murthy, Professor V. Kamakoti, Director IIT Madras, Dr. Ramanathan, Dr. Sumitra Vasudevan, and Dr. Deepak Paramshivan to take their seats on the dais. Sir, please. Now we request everyone to raise up for Vande Matram and Tamil Thai World respectively.
श्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनी पुल्यकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् कोटि कोटि कण्ठ कलकल निनाद करले कोटि कोटि भुजै वित कर करवाले अबला के नुमारक बोले बहुबलधारिणी नमामि तारिणी विपुदलवारिणी मातरं वन्दे मातरम् तुमि विद्या तुमि धर्मा तुमि रिधि तुमि मर्मा त्वं हि प्राणाः शरीरे बाहुते तुमि मा शक्ति हृदये तुमि मा भक्ति तुम्हारे प्रतिमा गणि मंदिरे मंदिरे वन्दे मातरम् त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी कमला कमल दल विहारिणी कमला ममला अतुला सुजला सुफला मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् श्यामलां सरलां सुस्मितां भूषितां धरणीं मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
We begin this sacred journey with the lighting of the ceremonial lamp, a symbol of knowledge, purity, and divine presence. I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly come forward for the Deep Prajwalanam as we invoke the blessings of Mata Saraswati, Nataraja, and Guru Guha, the divine signature of Dikshit himself.
अखिल विजेत्री मैत्री मैत्री भजत अखिल विजेत्री मैत्री भजत अखिल विजेत्री मैत्री भजत अखिल विजेत्री आत्मवदेव परान विपश्यत आत्मवदेव परान विपश्यत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत त्यजत परेश्वरक्रममाक्रमणम् त्यजत परेश्वरक्रममाक्रमणम् मैत्रीं भजत अखिल विजेत्री मैत्रीं भजत अखिल विजेत्री जननी पृथ्वी कामदुःखाते जननी पृथ्वी कामदुःखाते जनको देवः सकल दयाळु जनको देवः सकल दयाळु दाम्यतत्क दयध्वं जनता दाम्यतत्क दयध्वं जनता श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनाः
Now, we request Dr. Ramanathan to kindly felicitate all the dignitaries on the dais.
Now we
Now we request Dr. Sumitra Vasudev to felicitate Lalgudi Vijayalakshmi ji. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. It is now my privilege to invite Dr. V. Ramanathan, Associate Professor and Head of Center of Excellence in IKS in IIT BHU, one of the three such centers established by the Ministry of Education, and also a passionate Rasika of Karnataka music. He is also the editor of the book Amar Guha Potravam, to be released today. We invite Dr. Ramanathan to please come and deliver the welcome address and opening remarks. Sir, the stage is yours.
नमस्तभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वै नमो नमः. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Honorable Director of IIT Madras, Professor Kamakoti, the Chief Guest of the day, Lalgudi Krishnan ji. Namaskaram to Sangeeta Kalacharya, Suguna Vardachari Madam. Please welcome. Have a seat. I will take this honor to felicitate Sangeeta Kalacharya, Suguna Vardachari Madam. So, as we all gathered today, this according to the Tamil month, Tamil calendar, the Panguni Masam Krittika Nakshatram, the 250th birth anniversary of Sri Muttusvāmi Diksita. And incidentally, this is perhaps one of the very rare occasions where the English birthday is just the next day, 24th of March. That happens to be tomorrow. So among the audiences, all of the faces whom I know, it's not really needed to welcome. But more than welcome, I will fail in my duty if I do not thank you all. Professor Desi Raju, one of the topmost crystallographers and well-known scientists in the country who has graced this occasion. Not only that, he has also taken pains to go through the book and written the foreword for it. So as Sangeeta Kalacharya, Suguna Mami also has written the message. So it is really indeed an honor for me that the trust was bestowed on me by the Indian Knowledge System Center, national coordinator of whom is adorning the stage. It so happened that the planning for it began almost 6 months back. And we were in touch with Cultural Ministry as well as Education Ministry. So when I got the green signal from the national coordinator, we set the ball rolling. On the Naraka Chaturdashi day, that is on exactly 18th of October 2025, we made the formal announcement for this. And right from the day one, I had the pleasure, and I would say more than pleasure, the honor of company of Dr. Sumitra Vasudev, who has been a backbone in getting people together as well as putting the articles together in the volume and to have made this event happen. Along with our local product, Dr. Deepak Paramashivan, who has been also one of the editors of this book and who has also burnt the midnight oil literally for putting this event together for the past couple of days along with his team. The moment I groped this topic, and I got a very spontaneous and a positive response from Sri Gurumurti ji, who was instrumental in helping in approaching the PMO and as well as getting a message from the PMO. So thank you very much, sir, for your kind gesture. And it so happened that I groped the topic, who can be the chief guest for this event. Immediately, spontaneously came the reply. Although we know Lalgudi Bani is very famous for Tyagaraja Shishya Parampara. So this is in a way like the confluence of Tyagaraja Shishya Parampara, celebrating the Muttusvāmi Dikshita on this day. So, and without any further ado or discussion, Dr. Krishnan spontaneously agreed for it, but he gave a request that instead of me speaking, I'll play in the inaugural session. So, which is like more than a bonus for us. So, thank you very much, sir, for having accepted and agreed for this kind gesture. The idea was that Dikshitar is somebody whom is relatively less known compared to, say, Tyagaraja. The reasons of it I will not get into. But eventually people have started knowing about him, I would say, ever since Dr. Raghavan wrote his article in 1975 and his stupendous work that he has done. People have come to know about Muttusvāmi Dikshitar, and thanks to all the leading musicians who have sung his kritis. But on the research part of it, we are very much in lacking. So that is where we requested Professor Desiraju who also comes in the Shishya Parampara of Muttusvāmi Dikshita, one of the students of Justice T.L. Venkatramayar, to be precise. The research aspect is still lacking. So that is why we conceived of this contributed volume, thinking this as a starting stone or a stepping stone for further works to get done. So we have assembled here today for this particular purpose. I am thankful to each one of the contributors to this volume. And without much ado, I welcome you all wholeheartedly for this day-long event, which will comprise of expert talks, panel discussion, and concert in the evening. So I look forward to your active participation in the entire day's event. So with that, I welcome you all once again, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. I now invite Dr. Sumitra Vasudev, musician and researcher trained under illustrious Guru, Sangeet Kalanidhi, Dr. R. Vedavalli, faculty member at Advanced School for Karnataka Music and research head of Music Academy Research Center, Chennai. Dr. Vasudev is also associate editor of this volume. We request her to now address the gathering. Ma'am, the stage is yours.
मुत्तुस्वामी मखेन्द्राय गानविद्या सुधाब्धये नमोऽस्तु त्यागकमला भक्ताय गुहरूपिणे नमोऽस्तु नमस्सभायै. Namaskaram to all the dignitaries on the dais and seated in the auditorium. This shloka that I just rendered is by Dr. V. Raghavan, and as pointed out by Dr. Ramanathan, Dr. Raghavan has done immense work to bring to light a lot of not only Muttusvāmi Dikshita's compositions, but I think the idea that the research is little lacking in the sphere of Muttusvāmi Dikshita's compositions is probably a little slack that we have had, because if we take Dr. Raghavan's writings and the kind of discussions that have happened in the Music Academy around the Dikshitar's bicentenary time and all that, there is a lot of thought that has been put together by many musicians and scholars like Dr. Raghavan. But yes, we hope that this volume will revitalize that surge of more thought and discussion on this Mahan. I am just going to quickly go over what this volume is all about. That's what I think I am here to do. So, Muttusvāmi Dikshitar அப்படின்னு சொன்னாலே சங்கீதம். Sangeetamna eduthandaka, there are so many dimensions, like raga depictions, of course, but the raganga raga system, a whole framework of ragas that Muttusvāmi Dikshitar followed, which grew parallelly with their parampara as the Melakarta system that we have today. Dikshitar's handling of Vivadi ragas, which is a very special area, and compositional structures. Actually, ஒரு கீர்த்தனா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சரை எடுத்துட்டு how many variations and what all has been given to us by Muttusvāmi Dikshitar through his compositions. அது ஒரு aspect அப்படின்னாக்கா, Sahitya. சாகித்யம்ங்கிறதுல different shastras, fields of knowledge like Srividya, Advaita, Jyotisha, Shanmatam, Bhakti, temple போகலாம். ஸோ அது அது ஒரு ஏரியா. முத்துசுவாமி தீட்சிதருடைய சிஷ்ய பரம்பரைகள் ஓரல் ட்ரெடிஷன்ஸில் வந்தது. அவருடைய லைஃப் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி, பயோகிராஃபிக்கல் டீட்டெயில்ஸ், இது மாதிரி there are so many dimensions that we can look at when we think of Muttusvāmi Diksita and his compositions. We have tried to include most of these dimensions in this volume, and in fact a few more, like how do we incorporate Muttusvāmi Dikshita's compositions as part of an educational curriculum which has been authored by Dr. V. Premalata for departments other than music, students of other departments. So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு idea. And the often spoken about area of Muttusvāmi Dikshita and his music, Hindustani music, influence, how, and all that. So all of these are the topics that have been included, arrayed in this volume. A blend of scholars of music, Samskrita, history, science, musicology have all contributed to this volume, sharing their invaluable insights on these wide range of topics related to Muttusvāmi Dikshita and his compositions. Personally, I thank Dr. Ramanathan for giving me this opportunity to contribute in this wonderful publication. Additionally, it has been a great experience sharing thoughts and working with you and Dr. Deepak as part of the editorial team. I just end with the prayer to Muttusvāmi Dikshita himself that this volume will be a Sahridaya Ahladakara, that which evokes joy in the hearts of discerning Rasikas, just like Muttusvāmi Dikshita himself and his compositions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful address. We are deeply honored to have with us a distinguished academic and thinker, Professor Ganti Suryanarayan Morti, National Coordinator, Indian Knowledge Systems, Ministry of Education, Government of India. I invite Professor Ganti S. Morti to share his insights.
मातृभ्यो नमः, पितृभ्यो नमः, गुरुभ्यो नमः, सभायै नमः, सभापतिभ्यश्च नमो नमः. Namaste to everyone, and it's really a distinct honor for me to be associated with this program. And then the very first time when Ramanathan ji, my friend, colleague, when we broached this topic, it was really an honor to say that, okay, let us do this, because he told me that it was 250th year and not many celebrations were going on about one of the trinities of our Carnatic music. Then we said we'll do something substantial, and then we started off on Naraka Chaturdasi because that's when he got the Siddhi, and then today is his birthday, so we are doing that in between these two days. And it was a really pleasure to see all of these things come together. And in Andhra and all, the very first introduction to music that I hear was going to movie with my parents, and then the very first song that used to be played there was a Vatapi Ganapati Bhaji. And when we got into the little bit understanding of a Sanskritam and all, and the amount of things that are there, even in a small composition like that, was something that was mind-boggling. Then that got me interested in all the Karnataka Sangeeta, and the kind of depth that all of Acharya Muttusvāmi Dikshita's compositions evoke is something that only true sadhaka can achieve that. So with that, this should not be an event. Whenever an IKS division does something, we don't do it as an event. We do it as a beginning of a mission for something. So maybe the words of what Sumitra Vasudevanji was saying, and then what Ramanathanji were saying, will take this forward and then make sure that the gaps that are there will fill that in maybe next 1 or 2 years. With that assurance, and will be staying there for IK's division, will stand behind you with for all that thing, so that we actually can learn more about our musicians and then understand more, so that it is not for them, they have lived their lives, but it is to enrich our lives and make our lives more cultured and refined, that we have to study such great people. So with that hope, and I looking namaste everyone. Thank you.
Much gratitude to Professor Morti for your enlightening words.
Now I would like to invite the very esteemed and renowned thinker, Shri S. Gurumurti. Shri Gurumurti is a well-known name who hardly requires any introduction, but to briefly let our audience know, Shri Gurumurti is the esteemed editor of Tughlaq and is currently visiting faculty of IIT Bombay in the domains of economics, finance, and management. He is also distinguished professor, legal anthropology in Shastra University. A chartered accountant by profession, Gurumurti ji is also a corporate advisor of high standing. Gurumurti ji is also one of the founders of the Vivekananda International Foundation and is chairman of its board of trustees. It is our immense privilege to have such a powerhouse of ideas and action amongst us today. I humbly invite Shri S. Gurumurti ji for delivering the guest of honor address. Sir.
Namaskarams to all. In the entire introduction, there is no word science or music in the whole profile that was presented to you, but that is the subject on which I am supposed to talk. I am neither familiar with the core of science nor the very idea of music. I love music, I love science. But knowledge is not limited to domains. In fact, specialization has killed knowledge. I always used to tell Kamakoti, we have to produce a silo-free thinking model. That's what I would like to present to you, because we are all living in the Newtonian world. There is nothing more powerfully driven idea to make people ignorant and illiterate than the Newtonian idea. In fact, I would normally end my speech with an experience in the life of Maharishi Aurobindo. He had come from Bengal, having given up the revolutionary movement and trying to pursue what is the eternal mission of India. He was one of the greatest brains India produced. And he was listless. He didn't have any idea as to what to tell hundreds and hundreds of people who were looking to him for guidance. But he was looking to a madman called Kullachami. He was really mad. He will eat mud, he will throw stones, he will laugh, he will cry. Aurobindo said, this man will provide me the lead. So everybody thought something had happened to Aurobindo. So he was sitting and having a cup of tea, Aurobindo, with his colleagues. And Kullachami came and lifted the teacup in front of Aurobindo and showed it to him. It was full. Then he emptied it and showed it to him and kept it and went away. Aurobindo said, I have got my message. So his colleagues said, you have lost your tea. Please tell us what message you have got. He said, you have to empty your thoughts and begin thinking afresh. We are in that state of ignorance. And Kullachami is a person about whom Subramanya Bharati has written poems. Why I am saying this is that this world cannot be understood with the normal eyes. You know, when Krishna Paramatma was showing his Vishwarupa, he told Arjuna, you cannot see it with your normal eyes. I will give you a magnetic glass that will make you see me. So to see the truth, the knowledge, the idea of how this universe evolved, you cannot look at the Newtonian world to understand, because the Newtonian world blinds you to reality. I would like to mention a few Newtonian falling apple facts to quote Newton against himself. Everybody saw apples falling, but only Newton questioned why is it falling. And that is how the entire theory of thermodynamics emerged. And like that, there are many hundreds of falling apple facts about our civilization which we are not aware. But I will not quote those facts, but I will quote the facts which have been recorded by the topmost brains of the world. It is sitting in Nilgiris. Macaulay wrote that the entire Indian civilization, if it is reduced into books, it will not fill half the shelf of the English Empire. And he quoted that these are barbarians, semi-barbarians. This was in 1835. But in 1820, a book had been written by one Edward Pocock, a Greek himself, a British Greek. He said the entire Greek civilization was built by the Vedic civilization. And he quoted how the migration took place from India. And he said the Greek mythologies cannot be explained without Hindu mythologies. And the idea of naming rivers, holding them sacred, the mountains, celebrating women as God, these are all the idea of which Plato and Socrates expressed. These are all traveled from here, and he gave enormous amount of data, and that book came out in 1852, 17 years after Macaulay wrote that we are the descendants of the Greco-Roman civilization, and so we can only civilize India. But he did not know, a Greek himself had written that it is the Hindu civilization which produced the Greek civilization. That book came out in 1852, and the British ensured that the book was not circulated in India. It is only in 1950s or so this was uncovered. This book is titled India in Greece. You can download it in the Lost Books site of the internet. In 2001, another Greek, an American, he came out with a volume, The Shape of Ancient Thought, in which the bibliography in that book is 1/3 of the book. One of the most well-researched books, in which he said the ideas of Plato and Socrates had no laboratory in Greece. The laboratory existed only in Vedas and Upanishads, and from which he drew, because what they spoke was only the output. The input was not there. And brilliant exposition. You must read that book that is called The Shape of Ancient Thought. It has been brought out by Motilal Banarsidass in India. These are the falling apple facts. Unless you take the helicopter view, you cannot understand what music is. Most people do not understand music because music has become entertainment today. Music was the path of realization of God. Kanchi Mahaswami said, Tyagaraja Swami Ganamargena Mokshangatha. Moksha is not a place where you attain. Moksha is something which you realize inside. And that powerful connect with that supreme consciousness. One of the most important parts is music. This is what I would like to posit before I tell you how science moved. Unless we know how science moved, we cannot understand Muttusvāmi Diksita. We cannot understand Carnatic music. We cannot understand our civilization. We cannot understand ourselves. We cannot understand whom we are. We cannot understand what the world is and what the world expects from us today. If the whole thing has to be understood, Muttusvāmi Diksita is an instrument. This is a context in which I want to reveal to you the text of what I have understood about what science and music is. Newton discovered his thermodynamics theory in 1665. For 250 years, this occupied the world. And he said very clearly, the world is real and there is nothing else which is real. And it held the field till 1905. Then Einstein came and said the world is not real, that what you are not seeing is real, and that is relative, that you cannot see. And then he expounded this relativity theory. And he said it is space and time which are absolute, nothing else is absolute. Einstein believed in a static world. Why I have to mention this is I have to take you to music means we have to travel with how science moved. Then only we can understand what music is. So, because he believed in a static world, he didn't believe in evolution. He didn't believe in the birth of the world, birth of the universe. But in 1931, Edwin Hubble, he came out with this theory, which he proved also, that the universe expands. What expands must have a birth, must have an origin. It must also have an end. So in 1931, Einstein had a discussion with him and said that his idea, that his exposition that the world is static is a blunder. But later his mathematical formulations only led to the Big Bang theory, which evolved between 1927 and 1964, when the idea of cosmic microwave background gave the idea that universe particular situation, and that is called Big Bang theory. But this Big Bang theory tormented the scientists. If something happened through which this universe began originating and expanding, what was there before? This tormented the scientists to no end. And the quantum scientists didn't know how to handle this phenomenon, a mysterious phenomenon. So, our Shastras, what existed before the Big Bang, for which the quantum science and scientists had no idea, our Shastras said it is from non-matter, matter came. It is from non-matter, energy came. This is our Shastras. This is our Upanishad. These are our Vedas. So in 1863, Schrödinger was one of the earliest recipients of, after Einstein, one of the earliest recipients of quantum science Nobel Prize. He said, it is only from Vedas and Upanishads you can understand how the universe originated. He said, Vedanta teaches that consciousness is singular. All happenings are played out in one universal consciousness, and there is no possibility of, there is no multiplicity of cells. In all the world, there is no kind of framework within which we can find consciousness in plural. Because the temporal plurality of individuals is a false construction. The only solution to this conflict, insofar as any available, lies in the ancient wisdom, the Upanishads. This is what he said in 1863. I don't think when I spoke in IIT in Bombay in 2017, IIT scholars did not know about it. That is the extent of ignorance the Newtonian world has caught us in. Then it is not only Schrödinger. Brian David Josephson, he said, he is also a Nobel laureate. Vedanta and Sankhya hold the key to the laws of mind and thought process, which are correlated to the quantum field. That is the operation and distribution of particles at atomic and molecular levels. You can find answers only in Vedas. And then Heisenberg, he said, after conversations about Indian philosophy, some of the ideas of quantum physics that had seemed so crazy suddenly became much making sense. But this did not solve the problem. It made it more complex. How can consciousness transform into matter? How can consciousness transform into energy? This began tormenting. This remained unanswered. Roger Penrose, who got the Nobel Prize in 2020, but it is not the, he got the Nobel Prize for a very different branch of quantum physics. He said, he proposed that consciousness is non-algorithmic and originates from quantum processes within the brain microtubules rather than just neural network computations developed with one Stewart. This, he said, orchestrated objective reduction theory such as consciousness arises from quantum composition collapsing into non-computable physical objective events. This is in 2020. He got the Nobel Prize in 2020. He wrote the book in 1997 or 98, I think. But in this entire journey, this is where I am coming to music. You might have wondered why I am talking about all this. In the entire 100-year journey, science thought that universe is a vacuum. It's empty. This is the proposition of science which held the field for 100 years. But in 2020, something stunning happens. NASA made a breakthrough. They got the initial data after the Big Bang. The data that is available, they reduced by a sonification method into sound. And that the beginning of the universe was with a sound. This is the sound of universe at the starting point. Put off the light. This was the sound which was heard 13.2 billion years ago. The data that was available in physical form was transformed through sonification method into this. Next. You get it? This is the sound. This sound existed at the time of the Big Bang. Next. You know why science said universe was empty? It's a vacuum. Stop. Because there is no medium by which sound could travel. Anything could travel except light. So NASA came out with a final admission in 2022. There is a misconception that there is no sound in space. And Martinez, who explained this phenomenon, he said there is humming sound. The sound released by NASA from black hole at the center of galaxy cluster. What you are hearing, what you heard, is pressure waves emitted from the black hole causing ripples in the cluster of stars of hot gas. Everybody thought Big Bang was an explosion. It was no explosion. It is explained like this by NASA. The beginning of the universe is a haunting hum. A humming sound. Haunting hum is a psychological condition. And people hear within themselves a humming sound. Sometimes it's a threatening. because it's mysterious. What did the Big Bang really sound like? Spoiler, question mark. It wasn't a cosmic explosion. Many people thought it was an explosion. It was no explosion. Instead, scientists recreated a low, haunting hum based on data from the oldest light in the universe in the cosmic microwave background, CMB, which discovered the Big Bang. Using advanced model, they have uncovered the true sound of the universe's beginning. Note this point. The universe's beginning is a humming sound. Our Vedas and Upanishads say it all started with the humming sound Om. It is, sound means vibration. It's music. And that is a structured, it's not unstructured. It is not something which has collapsed into sound. Now I will come to how music was perceived by a great quantum scientist, Michio Kaku, a well-known theoretical physician, co-founder of the string theory of the universe. He said in string theory, all particles are vibrations in a tiny rubber band. Physics is the harmonies on the string. Chemistry is the melodies we play on the vibrating strings. Universe is a symphony of strings, and the mind of God is a cosmic music resonating in 11-dimensional hyperspace. And he finally said, conclusion is very important. Music is the voice of God. This is what is it? One of the greatest quantum physicists. And completely unrelated, one of the greatest Sufi saints, very, very near, or almost near, or almost as close to as what we say. A classical instrumentalist, he used to play the veena. And when he was 32 years old, he left the music to let all hear the music of God and founded the Sufi order in the West. When he spoke of the universal Sufism, but he never did he leave the music. What he had begun to think was divine sound. Divine sound, said Hazrat, is the cause of all manifestations. It is from sound wave, that the entire creative process originated. This is what science says. But this man said it in 1914. The knower of the mystery of sound knows the mystery of the whole universe, is what he said. Now I will take you to more recent understanding about music. Before that, I will tell you what our Vedas and Upanishads said. Vedas and Upanishads said that the idea of Nada Brahma, Shabda Brahma, what Schrodinger said, that the idea of Brahma, which is the super consciousness from which the matter arose, first manifested through sound. This is what our Vedas say. I need not have to quote all this because these are all available on the net today. Now, information is available on the net, but we have to transform it into knowledge. There is no mechanism to transform it into knowledge unless you take a helicopter view. Otherwise, you will be viewing everything in silos. If you look at things in silos, you are the most illiterate person in the world. Today, one of my friends told me when I addressed the Niti Ayog at the request of the Prime Minister about some of these facts in the context of economics and technology. So my friend told me as we were driving to the venue, I had to go for a eye checkup. And when I went to the hospital, there are 7 specialists for eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to go through all the 7 specialists to know what is your problem. This was not the case 30 years back. This was not the case 15 years back. As a chartered accountant, I used to give consultation for everybody. Now there is a partnership, sole proprietorship, a company, listed company. This has completely reduced knowledge into specialization. And unless you move out of this, unless you take a helicopter view, you cannot understand knowledge. That's where quantum physicists had to look to Vedas. Now our Shastras say Vedas are the vibrations. Actually, Vedas are called Apaurushaya. This is the only literature written which had no author. Only literature for which there is no author. Will anybody write such great literature and not put his name? And I tell you, I personally experienced it in Arunachal Pradesh. How Vedas are Apaurushaya. Have you got that video? Anyhow, I'll wait. When I went to Arunachal Pradesh in 2001, they told me about the critical condition which their civilization was. Going and doing meditation in forests was one of the practices of young boys. And many used to go and do meditation, and they used to go to such high levels, they used to get Vedic sounds. And that Vedic sound transformed their life, and they became the gurus or pujaris. And there were 5,000 such people. And in 2001, they told me the number has drastically reduced to about 500. Our entire chanting of Vedas, their Vedas. This has nothing to do with our sounds. It is their grasping of Vedas in the manner in which our own rishis must have done thousands of years back. That is happening in Arunachal Pradesh. So how our Vedas, which were sustained by father teaching the son, which is called Niyama Adhyayana, then Niyama Adhyayana collapsed because there was no support from the state and the society. Then it became the Gurukula system. That also lost support. Then in the last 100 years, we transformed into Veda Padashala system. Veda Padashala is not the best method of learning Vedas. But there is no other alternative today. So I suggested that we should start Veda Padashalas by people who have heard this sound. And in 2015, this was started with the help of the Kanchi Mata. And I will show you how the Veda Padashalas are running there. Their Vedas.
Due to continuous onslaught of modernity and persistent nefarious influences of alien cultural activities, the indigenous tradition, culture, and belief system faces a serious threat from these wanton conversion activities, rendering fast
are their
erosion
Vedic
and
rishis.
extinction of indigenous ways of life. The need for the preservation
Padashala.
and promotion of the indigenous culture, traditions, and language was felt by thousands of selfless and like-minded social thinkers from the state.
ये दोनी पोलो कल्चरल चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट जो है बेसिकली ये दोनी पोलो जितना भी फॉलोअर्स
Doni Polo means
उसके लिए
Surya
ट्रस्ट
and
बनाया
Chandra.
गया है। हम लोग का ये सोचना है कि अगर खुमको को बनाएंगे तो फिर इसको रख रखाव कौन करेगा? पुजारी चाहिए। फिर आज हमारा सबसे बड़ा खतरा है हमारा पुजारी। पुजारी बहुत फास्ट वेनिश होते जा रहे हैं।
Then, like chain reaction, these ideas led to the bringing of institutionalized institution in the form of Nyubu Nyagam Yarko. Nyubu means priest. Nyagam means person having profound traditional knowledge and wisdom. Yarko means institution. Just like the ancient Gurukul system of schooling, the students of Nyubu Nyagam Yarko have to follow tight schedule and strict rules. They start their morning with morning prayer called
Hey, you
as
can stop now.
Aru Kamchiyam Kumnam.
According to Nobel laureates, the universe originated in a pre-existing universal consciousness which cannot be measured in mathematical formulation. That is the position of science today. Now, if Vedas, which are looked to by the quantum scientist, says that consciousness transformed into matter, which is very nearly accepted by as a matter of consensus, though we will not admit it because that will lead to great consequences for the modern science. The position today is that a super consciousness transformed into energy, and it coincided with music. The important thing is this transformation happened coinciding with music or through music. That is the position today. So now, the recent discoveries in quantum science and music. This I am quoting the researchers that are going on. Recent discoveries in quantum science and music have moved away from purely theoretical discussions to active experimentation. So don't think Muttusvāmi Diksita or Tyagaraja Swami were producing kritis and phonetics, linking them to the discipline of the ragas, the talas. The ultimate idea is the singer, the song, the listener must all be elevated to the level of consciousness. That level of consciousness, that is the idea. You must become music itself. That music and you are not different. That is the level to which music can take you. Now, music is entertainment. Now, the classical music is the worst way of describing Carnatic music. Because classical music came to be identified because the modern music has come. Modern music is drum beating and it destabilizes the human mind. If there is anything which will prevent you from understanding what is super consciousness, it is the modern sound. But our music elevates you. It's a process. There is a structure. And at the bottom of it, at the middle of it, at the top of it is devotion. This is sacred. Music is sacred. Music is divine. Only if you understand it, you can get an idea as to what we are talking about when we are talking about science and music, which is no more a contradiction. In fact, if you look at what the AI says, it was regarded as quantum, because this is regarded as an art. And science is regarded as a great investigative pursuit. Breakthrough in early 2026. We are in 26. We are in March. I am talking about January. Quantum All India Music Composition, AI Music Composition. As of January 2026, quantum computers are actively computing original real-time music that has never been heard before. But we have heard it. We are hearing it even today. They have to hear it from AI. Through the sound which we heard, they are trying to formulate this to understand what music was. But we have it in a living form. It has been structured and given to us from time to time. But do we understand music that way? We understand music through sabhas, which is the worst way of understanding music. Tyagaraja Swami did not have a sabha. When he composed, when he sang, he only saw Rama. That is musical consciousness. So when we are discussing about music, we have to, of course, I don't want to get deep into what is Carnatic music because it is still in theoretical form. No IIT, no research institution has gone into the relationship between science and music in the manner in which Western institutions are doing. And they don't have music. They are trying to connect their rudimentary music to science. We have music in a living form, cosmic music in a living form. But we have not done any research. We are not even thinking of a research. Why I agreed to come when Kamakoti asked me is that we have to create this vibration in these research institutions. Here the musicians are one group. The listeners, the audience is one group. Science is another group. Merely because we hold it in IIT, it doesn't connect all the three. We need crazy minds. It is crazy minds, as who said, I forget his name. It is crazy minds which have led to discoveries. Normal minds won't. It will only apply for a clerk's job. We have to produce people with the thirst. Because in the last 15, 20 years, particularly in the last 5 years, knowledge has transformed into a totally abstract concept. It's no more concrete. Knowledge is not concrete at all today. So we have to produce people who will swim into the abstract regions and try to understand knowledge, because this nation has the responsibility to show a world to the world which is not at crossroads, which is at a dead end. I am a cross-cultural analyst in terms of economics, in terms of sociology, in terms of politics. Science is not my domain, but I understand how much harm Newtonian science has caused to the world. Even though it is 100 years old, it is outdated. The outdated science is still grasping us so much that we are not able to go behind it to know what the truth is. Music is one of the important instruments by which the mind connects. The mind is connected, and that is connected to the super mind. That is another Brahman. We have to understand it that way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for insightful address. Now we come to the much awaited part of today's event, the release of the edited volume prepared by renowned top-ranking practicing musicians, connoisseurs of Karnataka music. It is matter of immense honor to invite Sangeet Kalanidhi Shri Lalagudi GJR Krishnan, our chief guest, and all dignitaries present on stage to kindly release the book.
Now we will use this momentous occasion to re-release Dr. Kanik's Kanikeshwaran's book titled Anubhuti. We invite Dr. Kanikeshwaran to kindly join the dignitaries on the stage for this. We will get to discuss more about this book at 2 p.m. by the authors. May this work contribute to the ever-expanding ocean of Indic knowledge and musical tradition and enrich the Jnana Pipasa of both Rasikas and maestros of Carnatic music. We will now share with you all the kind and gracious messages sent by respected Kanchipeetham, Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi, and Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath.
It is our great privilege to now invite the person without whose earnest commitment and support, encouragement and patronage, this event would not have been possible. A recipient of the Padma Shri 2026, distinguished expert in cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and VLSI. Beyond academia and technology, he is also deeply associated with Karnataka music, reflecting a rare confluence of scientific excellence and cultural rootedness. We now invite Professor V. Kamakoti, Honorable Director of IIT Madras, to deliver the presidential address.
Very hearty welcome to IIT Madras campus. This hall has witnessed right from my student days, 1989, and Kanik's days, little before that, 84. At least several thousands of concerts here. And we have listened also to GJR with his father, and his father with the Sarod, I think with Sarod. I think the South meets North, and several of concerts. So thank you very much for readily agreeing to be the chief guest. It actually took only 2 minutes for you to respond that day, Vijay and GJR. And he said that he will come and play. I said, in this Lalgudi Bani, always the violin speaks. So I said, yes, it's very, very great. Gurumurthy sir, thank you very, very much for coming today and enlightening us on what we call as the decolonizing of the human mind, Indian mind, to be very precise. So I'd like to touch upon certain points which actually SG sir has actually mentioned here. Friends, my basic introduction to music, that I need to study music, came from two incidents that happened very early in my life, in the presence of the Kanchi Paramacharya. One day there was Shivratri day, Pradosham day. At that time, Periva actually told my father, give me two instances, give me any other instance where you see a work like how Mukha Kavi has done for the Arya Sadagam and how Muttusvāmi Diksita has done for the Navavarnam. Can you point me any other text in this direction? So that was a big eye-opener for me. The second instance was when Princess Irene, she relinquished all her royal facilities and she wanted to become a philosopher. And she went and asked Periva, can you please tell me how can I attain liberation? Very profound question. Periva told, you are learning piano. You just continue to practice piano and one day you will realize moksha, liberation. So these two were very deep insights where I started believing very early in my life, around 5-6 years. I started realizing that, surely some aspect of music should be with every human being. Then I'm very nostalgic, like Padmaja and Sumitra here. Sumitra's grandmother was my first violin teacher. So I'm very happy Sumitra is here. Sumitra also has performed here. So thank you, Sumitra, for coming. When we started looking at a holistic development, as SG sir clearly put it, the silos of teaching science alone, just learning engineering, science, even within engineering, so many silos here and there, I think it's not going to take us anywhere. The type of creativity that is there, right? So that's very, very important. And that is basically kindled by several other art forms, and music is not an exception there. And so that's precisely why I put all my effort. And this one motivating statement that I believe, if there are people who are reasonable, then they live along with the world. Only an unreasonable person will want the world to live according to them. So if you want any change in life, you need unreasonable people, right? And so we started having certain unreasonable demands on our BTech admission. And we said, let us have a fine arts and cultural excellence admission. So now people who actually have a CCRT fellowship or All India Radio Gradation, they win the competition. Several young children are winning today. they get a preference in our admission. So this is something we brought in. And that has changed. Today we have, last year was the first we introduced. We have 6 very good artists. And down the line, I believe that we will bring the music culture into the science and technology field. What is amazing today, just looking at today, we have one repository. I just kept it for a moment. One repository of more than several thousands of kirtanas in one brain, and that is there. Sangeeta Kalacharya, Suguna Mami here. Mami, it's just amazing. Like my daughter goes for class with Mami and just asks, I want Pariyachakama. She said, take the 6th book there and take the 72nd page there. And when they opened, there was Pariyachakama. So there's an amount of repository she has. And what actually makes us stunning, specifically why I'm mentioning this here, is if you just look at the collection in her room, the amount of notations she have written, it will be at least millions of swaras or millions of notation, and each swara has its own way of rendering. The same Gandharam, you sing like this, it's different. If you sing somewhere, it becomes Arabi, somewhere it becomes Kedaragola. So it's whatever. So Devagandhari or Arabi, the small change can change the entire reflection of the raga. So it's not just having those millions of swaras in the mind, the notations, but also remembering how to render it. It's an amazing part of human brain. And I think that is something which is really, really pushing us to look at music as one aspect that will bring in a lot more creativity. Friends, when the Blue Gene IBM computer bet Kasparov in the chess, Kasparov was absolutely, he was very sad. And then finally he wrote a book called Deep Thinking. I think everybody should learn that Deep Thinking or read that book, Deep Thinking. It actually talks about the boundary where the artificial intelligence ends and the natural intelligence take over. At this point, when we just look at it, Kasparov's brain was just size of this palm. It maximum could have consumed 20 watts of power. But if you look at the IBM system, just for playing chess, Kasparov does a lot more other things. Just for playing chess, it was more than this hall size, consuming megawatts of power. So the brain is completely, it's not a computational paradigm. It's not at least a classical computing paradigm. So that's what SG sir also maintained. Many times he mentioned that we are slowly moving away from the classical computing to a quantum physics interpretation of what is brain to start with. So that is also something today, some of the better music. So there are a lot of artificial intelligence that are put to create music. I don't know whether it can create something like, for example, they talk about Harikeshan Muttiya Bhagavatar. It seems the king has some problem with the lips. When both the lips touch each other, then they could not basically sing. There was a lot of disturbance. So the king asked Harikeshan Muttiya Bhagavatar, what is it that if some artist, when they just start entering the stage, a beast stings the lip, what will he sing? He came out, Sarigama Padanisa, Ma and Pa, basically the lips touch. Sariga, Danisa, the lips don't touch. So he came out with this Niroshta Raga. So just to name it as Niroshta itself is so amazing, right? Sariga, Danisa, Sanida, Garisa. Not only that, he made a Kriti. In that Kriti also, Raja Raja Radite, no, the lips doesn't touch. And then finally, he made a Chitaswara for that, and people, actually, a lot of artists are singing it. So this is the level of creativity. Can artificial intelligence ever reach this level? So impossible. I think music is one field that will challenge artificial intelligence for time immemorial. And if at all we want to prove that human intelligence is much, much, much evolved and bigger than the artificial intelligence, I am sure music will be one very stunning example there. This background, of course, we have to start looking at in great detail. India, Bharat, we'll call henceforth, let us forget the word India, let us call it Bharat. I think that's a better way by which every Bharatian should call our country. Bharat, the knowledge system here, which Ganti Garu is really spending all his lifetime now almost. He's known as IKS man so Bharatiya knowledge system, BKS man now. Today as a system, we are the only musical tradition where both South Indian and North Indian music, we had certain proof of certain change in the natural environment. For example, the Amritavarshini Raga brought rain. There's no such documentation anywhere in the world about any other music, to the best of my knowledge. I may stand corrected. So there is something which is very closely associated between our music pattern and what we see, what we conceive as science. And some of the better music has come out when the AI field aspired to start looking at the Indian form of music. I think the quantum computing is now giving more promise to get music that is closer to us. But will it substitute our Manodharma is a very, very long way to go. Today, we are also involved in the brain research where we are the first in the world to actually take a human brain and dissect it as 50 microns, which is 50 into 10 power minus 6 meters. And the interconnection between different parts of the brain. Ultimately, music gives consolation, music changes your mood. So there is a lot of brain-related connection between what you hear and what you experience. I think we will have enough fundamental frameworks where we can start analyzing music and their effect on human. So this is another big step that we are taking. And we also are doing a sort of first in at least the education institutions in South India, where we are making a complete bamboo-based auditorium, which doesn't require all these mic and electronics. And you sit and sing, everybody can hear. You whisper, you can hear. So this type of auditorium we are building. It's yet to get completed, but if you have time, Deepak, you can just take them to the center and just show people who are interested. So we are now committed, IIT Madras is committed to bringing science and music together. We strongly believe that is the most important aspect of trying to encourage the Bharatiya knowledge system. And thank you, Ramnathan, for selecting IIT Madras and hosting it here. We are very thankful to you. And for all, I hope Jiva will bring, more kids will come in the afternoon, after their exams or quiz get over. So we will continue. This is just a small bit as we just started. We'll continue, more and more things will happen. And wishing you all a very happy one day stay at IIT Madras, and looking forward to many, many more events like this. And just to, Sumitra said that we forgot Dikshidhar to a large level, but IIT Madras, last 12 years, we have been conducting the Dikshidhar and Shama Sastri Day. And we are slowly encouraging the kids not to sing what they sang in the previous year. So every year we at least get 40-50 new Kirtanas come. And another example is Kanix, of course. Kanix is a person who actually brought in the note swaras in a very big way. And he also got a lot of kids to sing choir along with him. So kids love Kanix here. So in that way, our alumnus being closely associated with Dikshidhar, also very grateful to you, Kanix. Wishing you all the best. And this function marks a very good beginning in some research that we will start doing together in the field of science and music. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for setting the tone with such thoughtful and insightful reflections. What better way to pay our reverence to Dikshit ji than through Naad itself? We are truly blessed to present on stage today the illustrious sibling duo Sangeet Kalanidhi Lalgudi G.J.R. Krishnan and Lalgudi J. Vijay Lakshmi ji. torchbearers of the legendary Lal Gudi Bani. Disciples and children of the great Lal Gudi Jayaraman, they carry forward a musical legacy renowned for its lyrical beauty, precision, and deeply expressive bhav. Their music, rooted in the Gaiki style, brings out the voice-like quality of the violin with rare sensitivity and grace. Both Sangeet Kalanidhi awardees, they have enthralled audience across the world through their solo and duet performances, embodying a perfect blend of tradition and creativity. As Dikshit ji himself reminds us, Naad is Brahma. And on that note, we invite Sangeet Kalanidhi, Sri Lalgudi GJR Krishnan, and Srimati Lalgudi J. Vijaya Lakshmi ji. Ma'am, sir, and ma'am, the stage is yours. Let us consecrate ourselves with this sacred soundscape.
On Mridangam, we have Sri Shertale Anantakrishnam. Please have a round of applause.
Namaskaram. It's a great honor and a blessing to be here on the occasion of the 250th birth anniversary of the great Mahan, Sri Muttusvāmi Diksita. And I have always felt that Madras IIT had a strong connection with violin. That's why we are here. Not to speak about the various concerts that I have played here, but one special mention must be made about the English captain, Tony Lewis, attending our concert here in this very auditorium, and he happened to be a violinist. And now the present director, Sri Dr. Kamakoti sir, is a violinist. And one more connection, Balaswami Diksita, son of Sri Ramaswamy Diksita, was one of the 4 persons who has introduced the violin to our system. So it is very appropriate perhaps that we are here to pay our respect and to celebrate the great composer saint. And we will be playing for just half an hour in the Raga Gaule, Sri Mahaganapati, set to Mr. Chabata. The Raga Gopika Vasantam Balakrishnam said to Adita, Bhaviyam. The Raga Begada, Tyagaraja Namaste. Siturupalita. मीनाक्षी में मुदम देखी गमकत्रिय रकम आदि ताड़म.
Thank you very much, both of you. A big round of applause for this wonderful presentation. It's all in the offering to celebrate the Muttusvāmi Dikshita. It's a unique day, as I said in the beginning also, that we had graced with Dr. Soumya, who had come in the middle, and her sister. Madam, it was a pleasant surprise to see her because her coordinate was supposed to be something else, but luckily Dikshidhar brought her today amidst us. So thank you, ma'am, for coming. It's a unique day because we have had the Shishya Parampara of Tyagaraja giving offerings to Muttusvāmi Dikshita today. Although there are a lot of politics involved in between the two schools, that apart, today we have the confluence of this unique thing. With that, we come to a close of the inaugural session, but before we formally close it, I'd request my colleague, Dr. Deepak, to express the vote of thanks.
Namaste, everyone. First of all, I'd like to, on behalf of Dr. Ramanathan and Dr. Sumitra Vasudev, express our heartfelt thankfulness to Professor V. Kamakoti, Honorable Director of IIT Madras. When he was introduced, it was said that he's associated with Carnatic music. That's an understatement. He's a musician par excellence. He's a great Sanskrit scholar. He's an Nayayika. I think we could not have had anyone better than Professor Kamakoti to give the presidential address this morning. Thank you very much, sir. I'd like to thank a great thinker, visionary, and who's been a guiding light in a lot of our activities, IKS-related activities at IIT, Mr. S. Gurumurthy, sir. Thank you very much for gracing the occasion, sir. And thanks are due to Professor Gantimurthy ji, National Coordinator of IKS. It's very hard to catch him. He's a very, very busy man. This morning he's in Chennai, evening in Indore. You know, someone who exactly has breakfast in Chennai, lunch in Mumbai, and dinner in Delhi. So in spite of his busy schedule, he's here. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks are also due to Professor Gautam Desi Raju. It so happens that I'm from the same hometown and I grew up right in front of his ancestral house in Mysore. So thank you very much, sir. And thanks one and all for gracing this occasion. Thank you very much.
We will now break for tea at room number HSB 133. Everyone is requested to kindly reassemble in 5 minutes or as soon as possible so that we could maintain the orderly flow of the event today. Thank you.